It's a beautiful Tuesday on your view. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely co-host here. Hi, ladies.
Hello,
YK in the building.
Yo.
I like the pink combo with the shoes, everything.
She said I'm back.
You're back. Where did you go?
No, I gave way for Tokwe.
That's true. The whole of last week, we didn't see you.
Not so.
We missed you.
I had a very eventful week, I'm telling you.
How was Saturday?
Very eventful. It started from my daughter had an accident.
On Wednesday?
She's at home. She broke her collarbone.
In the UK? In the UK?
Mm.
Jesus Christ.
How?
Collarbone.
She was skiing.
Skiing.
She skied into a restaurant. Don't worry, everybody has abused her. My brother carried the phone, abused her life. See which kind of, because he has a song called Eregele. Which kind of thing? Which kind of
ski?
Skiing, you know, she's married when
she sees snow, they always look for those kind of
hey, God.
So all the games in this one are
that was the first.
skiing, local.
She's getting better. She's getting better. She hasn't even
I can't happening in Nigeria when you go.
It's very, very difficult to pity her, but
that's the problem with
she's my child, so I have to pity her.
And an person. Okay, so what happened again?
The second thing, my brother went to Maiduguri.
Yes, we saw the pictures.
And he came back much darker, much more enlightened to the plight of the people. So we're trying, hopefully your view will join in this campaign against for the children, because too many children don't have parents. There are millions of them in the
IDP. Scattered around.
They're not even in the official IDP camps. They are outside the IDP. It's terrible. But the stories he told were horrific. And the third thing was my partner had a talk on Lagos, which was very, very enlightening. I wish you had made it. It was we learned a lot about Lagos.
That's good. Uncle Theo is doing things. We have to. I wish we recorded it and posted it online so we can learn from it. I really hope so.
I hope he will
post it online.
Try and post it online.
Okay. I hope we get the video.
How you guys doing, ladies? Since YK has taken up the time today.
Well, I'm doing very good.
For the 1 week I missed now.
Let me quickly say the rains have come. And please, Ministry of Environment, the Lagos State, whoever is in charge of the canals, the drainages, the gutters, everything, please, before the rains come heavily. Those of us on the riverbed.
Do your sanitation and clear the gutter.
We do, but it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough.
We're not saying it's both ways.
Those of us in Amod of you know what I'm saying. So please.
Yeah, you're Amod.
Okay, I'm loving your nail polish.
That's what our Lagos State.
Matches your dress.
It's not Lagos now.
It can't be.
Is it Lagos?
Take time. The governor had a retreat there sometime ago.
Okay.
So that's
is making show now. Let her make
your
the
nails,
show.
nice.
I never imagine her nail polish, her dress.
I picked my clothes for this week, so my nail polish matches all over.
Yay! I'm influencing you. Yay!
All right, let's take a break. Let's drop the nail polish. It's Tuesday. I want to learn about health issues, not nails. When we come back, look at the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the punch. Officers held as customs seized 661 rifles in Lagos. Importer clearing agent escort also nabbed. The picture here is pretty revealing. Federal government gives loans to 24,400 artisans in 13 states and Abuja. Hunter shoots wife, mother-in-law, and pastor over land. Obanikoro, Bankole, other PDP stalwarts meet in Ibadan. Police seal off Undo Assembly, stop lawmakers clash. Justice Ademola, prosecution alleges threats to witnesses' life. Trump's travel ban, discriminatory, says Obama. Budget, Oshimbajo meets Dogara, Senate leader, behind closed doors. DSS quizzes Apostle Suleiman over alleged inciting comments. And Naira reverses loss after dropping to 500 to the dollar. Jesus
All the
Christ.
stories in all the 5 newspapers we're reviewing this morning are inside Punch.
So let's just take the human
So let's
angle.
just take the human angle.
Yes.
Hunter Jerome shot his wife Regina and her mother Esther and their pastor Eze. What did they do to Jerome? Family members are saying that he's excused of that his wife Regina Esther went to cut up one meat that she did not ask him permission to do. It's just an excuse.
That's Jerome's excuse.
That is just an excuse. That the real issue is a parcel of land that Jerome claims he owns by himself, and Regina is saying no, we own it together because we contributed the money to buy this parcel of land. That they've been fighting over this piece of land for a very long time, and family members have tried to wade into it. But that this particular day, as they were fighting on this piece of meat that Jerome was saying he wanted to sell, and that his wife just went to go and
cut it up.
That can be painful.
He now ran into his room. His wife's mom, his mother-in-law, was on a visit and was trying to pacify both of them. No vex about the meat, no vex about the meat. He ran into his room, pulled out his gun, was going to shoot. The mother now shouted, pastor and other neighbors ran in. The bullet hit the pastor is dead. And the mother and wife are still injured. Communication issues,
but
basically.
It's not even just, anger issues.
Anger.
We need to learn how to control our anger, because what you do in anger, the result, you will not like it.
Yeah, you're right.
And you see, unfortunately, our people would encourage this. They would have been telling the wife, know how to manage the husband. Someone should have told him to know how to manage his anger.
Yes, because
a piece of meat led to you shooting somebody.
Okay, let's move on to the nature.
For God's sake.
I know, anger is exactly the issue here. Trump defends travel ban as Obama backs protests. Picture here again, the customs says 661 pump action. I think we'll take that in the sun. Oshimbajo, delay in justice administration self-inflicted. Police seal Ondo House of Assembly over crisis. Let's talk about Trump for a moment. Trump.
Trump is trumpeting.
Trump is
10 days.
10 days!
No, but he has executive order. We don't have that here. No, our president tried to get that authority to power to actually make some decisions, and they are still arguing it in the House. So he has that power to say, you know what, these are executive orders he can do, and maybe that's how you need to do 10 days. If he had to go through his entire Congress.
I think that power should not be given to him.
Yeah,
because he's going to the trumpeter.
Trump is
because he's
already
misusing it.
Yeah,
yes,
but
he's abusing it already. I don't have a problem with his ban. I just think it is unfair. I think that the countries in question that is saying they should go to other countries. Those countries are already taking care of them. I'm aware of what they call the Arab brothers, Arab sisters arrangement that Saudi Arabia and other countries I mentioned have with these war-torn countries. They don't see the people from those countries as refugees. They simply give them home, and they always take the zakah that they take from their countries to these countries to help them. So it's not about screaming it. If he's placing a ban on these countries, maybe they should just sit at home. I think maybe there will be a good
side. I was watching on CNN,
hopefully
that had to do surgery. It's a lady had a hole in her heart. She was on her way to the US for that surgery, and she recently got married.
It's so terrible because even some of them were detained that had landed.
And he said only 109.
Only 109.
That's
what Trump has done has only made obvious the inadequacies of the UN in this Syria war.
Trump,
because if it was an African country, if it was a Libya,
let's move on. He's the president. Let him do what he's going to do.
He said that he has almost done 70% of all his promises already. Jesus Christ.
In 10 days.
Vanguard. DSS Suleiman in Ding Dong drama over invitation. I didn't read that. Okay, yeah, this is our Suleiman. Yes, and police raid Owerri prisons. Customs impound container loaded with 661 pump action. Gencos, Discos, TCN, trade blames over poor electricity supply. Obama, Yemen, Iraq, others blame Trump over travel ban. 2017 budget, the federal government explains 42.9 billion naira for state house exotic cars for ex-presidents. Okay, so
it's the vampire that escaped.
This vampire again. Why can't I see vampire here?
No, the where they found the guns, the phones. Sorry. The phones.
The prison were
they were in prisons.
But there's a vampire there?
The guy that escaped from prison is called Vampire.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Talking about a true vampire.
Vampire. I didn't see vampire in this one. Okay, go ahead, Waiki. So tell us that story.
Because they had planned, and he escaped last week when they took the prisoners. They had shot. So they now went to go and investigate and ransack the prison. They found 264 mobile phones.
Whoa. Is it a vampire?
And the prison is meant for 540 inmates, and there are about 2,260 inmates in that prison.
All right, so Pastor Suleiman was actually invited by DSS. Yes, he went in the evening. His church members tried to support. I think a few of them went in with
30
him.
lawyers.
Yeah?
30 lawyers and
Really?
other pastors.
I didn't say that, but I just he went there in the evening, and he said they treated him with a lot of respect, decorum. He was asked questions, and he was there for about 3 hours before they let him go. At the time of the bunch was reporting, they were not sure if they actually let him go at that time, but they said that he was
I think I
there
need to give my own version of the Vanguard.
Okay, please
He
go ahead.
went initially in the morning. When they saw the entourage that came with him, they had to send him back. Told him to come back at 4 p.m. He went back. They sent him back and told him to come back by 7 p.m. And he did.
At that time,
and,
it was lighter.
They felt it was lighter. They tried to persuade the other pastors to go back to their hotel room. It's just a simple invitation, friendly one, nothing.
But he didn't deny what he said. He said he is just saying that they should protect themselves. When he got information that they were coming to attack him.
Exactly.
So please, carry your guns. Don't let them kill me.
He didn't say carry your gun, just say protect yourself.
Only one question. Has any headsman been arrested yet?
Well, he wasn't arrested, he was invited.
Has any headsman been invited yet?
Moving on to Daily Sun. 661 imported guns intercepted in Lagos. Custom officials clearing agent arrested. Ogun flags off feeding program for primary school students. Nkire commends Nnamani as APC Southeast leader. Ex-governor T.A. urges aid shot dead in Imo. Justice reforms. Oshimbajo recommends heavy penalty for delayed trial. And tight security as DSS grills Apostle Suleiman.
Okay.
So it's rifles.
The 661 imported. I thought that it was a little odd. I was saying to my cousin yesterday, 661. Odd number. But in 49 cartons.
Maybe somebody are telling 4.
I think so.
Yes.
Or maybe 9.
Let's not have a conspiracy theory. Let us stick with the story.
I don't have a conspiracy theory. I just know that the number is odd. Now, what happened was that the customs boss yesterday gave a press release of how they gotten information that there was this container loaded with ammunition. They intersected it on the Apapa Mautu Expressway.
After it had been cleared by
customs. By the customs. Well, they're saying that they have a lot of issues in the customs, that they don't have any more, they don't have scanners which would have detected this. But anyway, he was irritated at the audacity. The searches, manually, but we've agreed to do it. How would such a container pass you by with 600 automatic rifles?
Did you see those guns?
They had steel doors. They covered them with steel doors. There were diapers, there were things, other clothing items in there, drinks, and up to conceal it. But they were the document, actually, the current document said steel doors, and they were actually steel doors. But it took them searching.
They had got information. That is why they even went to. That's what I'm saying. So they had got the information that the soldiers, they met them on the road.
Without information, they would have just gone.
I'm telling you.
It's fortunate that they arrested the importer, Mr. Oscar Okafor, and the clearing agent, as well as the escort of this container.
All right. So that's what we can take on Front Page Review. When we return, what's hot today, we're going to speak with a survivor of cancer. And later, we learn more about these cancers. I think this weekend is cancer. This week actually is Cancer Remembrance Month. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, dealing with cancer is a life-changing event for many people, and many people that have cancer find that learning more about it is a good way to understand and feel more in control of the situation. In commemorating the World Cancer Day, which falls on February 4th, Tinu Lawal is a cancer survivor who is on the show to tell us how she overcame cancer. Welcome to the show, Tino.
Thank you. Good morning.
You can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. So, tell us about how you were diagnosed, how you found out the first time you went to the hospital.
Okay.
Tell us about that experience.
2014, I was just in my house and I don't know what I was looking for. I never did that before. And my hand went there, you know, here. And I felt something like a lump.
It's okay, you can say it underneath your breast, okay?
Yeah. And then I felt something like a lump. Of course, that jolted me because before then I'd heard about, you know, cancer. I did not really have anybody who, you know, has had cancer. Or, you know, but you've heard that, you know, it starts from a lump and all of that, you know. And I know that the lump wasn't there. It's not part of it. The normal lump that, you know, every woman has is different from the type that I saw. It was like peanuts. And I couldn't touch it again. I just blanked out. I wanted to blank it out of my memory, but it was just there. You know, it kept repeating itself. I couldn't tell anyone. It took me about 3 days before I could gather up the courage to go to the to get the internet and Google breast lump. Okay. At that point, I discovered that not all breast lumps are cancerous. Okay. So it calmed me down, and it just made me feel, okay, mine isn't. And that, you know, sometimes, it's also said that when you have lumps sometimes, for some women, when their period is coming, or when they've just finished their period or something like that, it comes and all that. That has never happened to me before. So I wanted to put myself in that particular, you know, group, you know, that it's happening for the first time and then it's going to just fizzle out or just melt away or something and I won't find it there any longer. But it was there like a week after and all that. Then it dawned on me that I needed to get help or check or something. I was supposed to go to see my doctor. Normally, on the average, I'm a very elder person. The last time that I had to go to the hospital was when I had my second born. That was 14 years ago. Wow. Yes, I don't ever have to go to hospital for anything. No matter what happens, once I take my Panadol, it's all over. Yeah. And that's it, you know. So the only doctor that I could remember is the one that, you know, normally my gynecologist, who delivers my baby and all that. I couldn't go there then because that was when Ebola came to Nigeria. And, you know, everybody, you know, at that time, everybody was running away from the hospital because Ebola started from the hospital. I wasn't going to go to the hospital. You know, I kept telling myself, there's a Yoruba adage, I'm sorry, that says that, wasari taxi, you know, called trailer. Something like that, you know. That means I can't try to run away from the bicycle and then, you know, and exactly. So I couldn't go to the hospital. I just, you know, denied myself.
Finally went to the hospital?
Yeah, I just kept thinking that it would, you know, it would just go out. In fact, I didn't even have the doctor's phone number any longer. The last time I saw him was a very, very long time, but I know his hospital. So after a while, I mean, when Nigeria was certified free, that means I stayed like 3 months. Yeah. I didn't know what I was sitting on. I didn't know how bad it could be. But, you know, I just kept thinking and I just had that faith.
Did you do the prayer?
Binding it.
Did you cast and bind?
Talk about it. Tell me more.
No, because we want to help people out there because a lot of people are buying and casting now.
That's what I was doing that. Okay. I was doing that, and then I was denying myself, and I was telling myself that it's not my portion. It's not it. It's going to just fizzle away. So you know, it's going to just melt
3 months.
Away. Yeah, 3 months. I took the courage to go to the hospital, and then I met the doctor, and I told him, and he checked it too, and he found out that it was still lumpy and all that, and he said it too. And he said, I don't think this is cancerous. It's,
sorry, had it grown in size, the lump?
No, it was that size. Then he now told me something like that, we should watch it for a while. He gave me, he recommended a pill, an hormonal pill, you understand, and says maybe if I take that, it will, you know. Disappear. But I realized that after I started taking that hormonal pill is so strong that when you take it, it's like you're pregnant. I haven't been pregnant in like 13 years. You know, you're like, you're so tired, you're so, you know, the feeling. Yes.
Side effects
and it was really terrible. So I stopped, but I realized that it was as if it was growing bigger. It had grown bigger than that. So, you know, of course, I went back to him and he said I should do a mammogram. And then I did a mammogram. And they checked. They kept checking. Eventually, they came out with the result and said it was benign. And I was just so glad it was benign.
Are you over 40?
I'm over 40.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was benign. So I took it. But they told me that it was best for me to take it out because if you don't remove that, it could become cancerous. Yeah. So I said, okay. And shortly after, I decided to take it out. Incidentally, I didn't meet with the oncologists. I met with a surgeon that I thought was an oncologist, and we just removed it.
Okay.
You understand? And he said, okay, take it to the pathologist. They need to check, what kind of, what could have caused the lump and all that. But, I was so comfortable because I'd heard that it was benign. The result I had was that it was benign. The result wasn't going to come out until like 3 weeks after. It came out, and on the day I collected it, of course, it was, it will be sealed and then it will be directed to the doctor that, directed you. I was going home that afternoon. I had the letter in my bag. I live on, Lekki Aja, whatever. I was in that terrible traffic, and I just thought to myself, what kind of stupid message did they give me? How can they give me something about me and, seal it up and then ask me not to open it? So I just opened. And lo and behold, I saw this grammar, different grammars. The very first time I heard about malignant was when I was in primary 6. So I really know the meaning of malignant. But I saw malignant that day and I didn't want to think that it was, I didn't know what it meant. I just wanted to assume that the guy was just trying to describe something.
They told me it's benign.
Whatever,
it's benign.
yeah, it's benign, But, I wasn't, at that time I was already, scared and all that. So I didn't know what to do. Luckily, normally when you get results, you get, the doctor signs his name, he writes his name and then it's
certified.
No, not number. It's his position. He's a pathologist and all that. He writes his name and all that. So immediately I took up my phone again. I'm quite good with computer, and I googled the name. Luckily, the guy uses internet, so his name came up, his picture came up, his phone number came up, everything about him came up. So I called the first number that I, saw there, and luckily it picked it up.
Wow.
I never met the pathologist. You just go to, it was at MICure that I did it. You just go to MICure, you drop your specimen, and then they tell you to come back. You obviously drop it with a receptionist or the.
Okay, we need to, because of timing, we need to move to the point that you found out you have a malignant.
Tumor. I called him, and the next thing I challenged him and all that, and somehow the way I spoke with him with so much courage and everything. No, he thought it was a doctor that was speaking with him. I told him, I said he didn't put the result, and he said, what was the number? I gave him the number on the what's it called? He was in front of his computer. He typed it and he said the result is there. So I said, so does it mean that it's malignant? At that point, I guess he knew that it wasn't a doctor that was speaking with him. He said, yes, it's malignant. Who am I speaking with? I said, do you know the result? He says, madam, you're not supposed to open that. You're supposed to take it to your doctor. I said, but now I have.
All right, so what then happened? Did you have to do a surgery to take that?
Yeah. No. After that time, I, of course, my whole world, crushed. Yeah. It crumbled before me. But even I was still trying to, I went to MICure to look for the guy. And I told him, I said he had made a mistake in my result. That there was a lady in front of me that day that wanted to collect, that was also coming to drop a specimen. That I'm sure he mixed it up for the ladies' own and all that. And then he said, if it's about the one that you have, it's a very uncommon one. That in fact, when he saw it, it was the type that they read about when they were in school. It's not the normal kind, but it is malignant.
Okay. Jumping to when you went for treatment, did you have to remove?
She'd already removed the lump.
The breast. After
no. You remove the lump. You do a lumpectomy when you have a lump. What I was asked to do was a lumpectomy. You cut it open and remove the lump. Okay. And then they take that lump for they take the specimen for pathology test. Histopathology.
So by the time the test came out malignant, what then happened? Did you have to then do a
I'm getting there. Okay. I would like
to. Look at the timing. That's why.
Okay, fine. So of course, at the end of the day, he was sure that it was very, very, it was malignant and all that. So I decided at that point, I thought I thought they didn't know what they were doing here in Nigeria. Yeah. Yes, nobody knows, so I thought I was going to send the results. I was going to take it abroad and I was going out of the country. At that point, I started trying to travel. I've been traveling before, but somehow my visas were rejected. Every time I went to the US, I went to the, to the British Embassy, he was rejected. I petitioned American Embassy and told them that I have never had any issue with them. So why they wrote back to me like 3 days after and told me they were sorry. I should, whatever 90 days after.
Okay.
But at that night, 90 days I wasn't ready. But sometime after I tried to. All that time, my younger brother's wife, who is an American, who's never been to Africa, had to come to Nigeria. Everybody tried to help me to get
So
out.
you had the right support.
Well, my family, they were the only ones I told. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody. Wow. I couldn't tell any single person.
So were you able to get the sample abroad to testify now?
When you take your specimen for pathology, they turn it into something called a block. Okay. Because you can't have that thing, it will get spoiled, obviously. Yes. They turn it into something called a block. And then from that block, they bring out slides. The slides, you can take it everywhere, but that's, the block is like the original copy, just like you have master copy in video and all of that. Yeah.
All right, we need to take a quick break now.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, cancer is a group of diseases involving abnormal cell growth with the potential to invade or spread to other parts of the body. But not all tumors are cancerous, as Tino has told us earlier. How can cancer be dealt with? And how can people with cancer be helped? Joining us on the show is the founder, president, Breast Cancer Association Nigeria, and the wife of the governor-elect Ondo State, who is also a breast cancer survivor, Mrs. Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you on.
Thank you.
All right, so we're hearing Tino earlier concerning the fact that she had initially had a benign cancer lump in her breast, and then later she now found out it was malignant. Now, you're also a cancer survivor. Before we come to the World Cancer Day, which is February 4th, we'll come back to that. Let's hear your own story, Ma, also, and how you found out about your own cancer status and what you did.
Well, thank you for having me. I had to discover a lump while having my bath. And just like she said, you will always want to wish it away. You'll be wondering, why should it be me? For me, while I was in the university in the 70s, we used to read all these glossy magazines, Harper's and Queen's, Ebony, and so on. And we do come across stories about breast cancer survivors, but it's something that you think happens to white women. Okay? So we never paid attention. I could say I never paid attention about breast cancer or how to do breast self-examination, which is one of the things we preach seriously for women to do that. So like I said, I wasn't really ignorant about breast cancer, but I never sat down to feel my breast. So when that happened, I was worried. I couldn't even tell my husband. But because I've been exposed to what breast cancer is, I've also seen survivors on cable TV. Like I said, only white women I've always seen. I never.
What year did you get diagnosed with cancer?
That was 1997.
Wow.
20 years ago.
Yes.
So you survived that long?
Yes.
That's great. Was yours malignant too, or?
Of course, it has to be.
Did you ever have a mastectomy, or you
What kind of
you
treatment?
took out the lump? What kind of treatment did you?
Yeah, like I said, I had to gather myself together. I went to the hospital, and with series of tests, it was confirmed malignant. And because I had seen women, although they are white people, and they went through that experience, and I said to myself, I must survive this. And of course, the first thing to do is to present yourself to a doctor, not going to church or anywhere. And I followed my consultant's prescription and all the other tests to be done. I did it faithfully because I was convinced that if I go through that road path those white women went through, then I'll be okay. And that was exactly what happened. You present yourself, doctor says it's cancerous. The next thing you do is mastectomy. And even at that time, you couldn't afford to do otherwise, because some women would be preoccupied about self-image. Fine, but you've got to be alive first.
Yes. I wanted to talk about prevention, and I know that you're not a medical doctor, because you're trying to help lots of people. They say that most causes of cancer, aside from being exposed to smoke and pollution and diet, eating the wrong things, it's our sedentary lifestyle of not exercising and all of that. So if we do all of these things, maybe we can prevent cancer. But then, if you find a lump for whatever reasons, what are the things you need to do quickly, you know, to prevent casualty from cancer?
I have a word with you. You cannot prevent cancer, but you can reduce your risk factors. So it's wrong for anyone to say, if you don't do this or you don't do that, you won't have breast cancer. The only cancer that one can emphatically say is lung cancer. If you stay away from cigarettes, stay away from tobacco, I think maybe 99% for sure that you won't have lung cancer. Okay. But for other cancers, it's highly unpredictable. Okay. What causes them?
Can I ask you a question? I wanted to ask, because I lost a friend last year. It was very sad. She had cancer the first time, and they removed the lump, and after 5 years, she was cancer free. The lump came back like 7-8 years later. She had to go. Now she had a mastectomy. They said, oh, she was at risk. She still died last year after having the mastectomy. In fact, another cancer now even came. She now got a brain tumor, and I think that finally killed her. Do you advise women who have breast cancer to have mastectomies immediately?
Absolutely. There's always a caution. In the early days of our organization, when we are trying to mobilize people to come, and they would tell us, oh, breast cancer is terminal. I know so-and-so person who went to UCH and she never, came back. But I want to say here that, and it's also part of the knowledge, breast cancer or even any cancer at all progresses in stages. Breast cancer that I'm very familiar of has 4 stages. You feel the lump is usually painless, and majority of our women will carry on because it's not painful. And this is where the awareness comes in. For every woman that feels a lump, do not delay. Go to a hospital. If you don't know any hospital, you can contact organizations like ours, Brecan. We will direct you where you have experts that will handle you properly. So, when people go to hospital and eventually die, you don't know the stage at which she presented. Like your friend now, the very time she was diagnosed, well, I wouldn't know what her treatment protocol was. Having the breast affected again, the other one, it follows that there was metastasis. Metastasis, when the cells, cancer cells, start moving around, they can settle anywhere. In your second breast, it can settle in the lung, it can also settle in the brain. So that's why we lay emphasis on detection, and every woman should know how to do breast self-examination. Do you do it?
Yeah, I do it. I certainly do it.
You do?
No.
You see? You do?
Yes.
You do?
I do, but
I had a mammogram done last year.
No,
I also checked my
yeah,
breast.
I'm talking about
I checked, but you see, there's a normal lump. There's the one in the center. There's
yes,
the other
mass.
head. That one I sit down.
It's a
So that one
lump.
is normal, Abi.
It's
Yes,
normal.
it's-
Every
okay.
woman.
Because I always see that one, and I always feel that one. I'm wondering, hey,
The
all
one
this
you
thing
have
not
prior to your menstrual cycle is normal.
Yeah, you know, everyone has that lumpy thing.
I don't
You-
have.
you
I don't
still-
have.
I don't
that.
get it
I don't
either.
have it.
You,
I don't have
no,
it.
You do.
Before my period, no, I don't.
Oh, I
You-
I've never.
I never did either. I never
I never noticed.
No, you may not know anyway, but it's there. And anytime you have doubts, you go to your doctor to
Yes.
do what we call clinical breast exam. The one we ask you to do is just for you to be familiar
Yeah,
of
to
your breast,
Yes.
how they look like, and how they feel like. And it's always recommended that every year you can have your CBE. A doctor, a nurse can, examine your breast because they are professionals.
Let me take Nima's question before we go on a break.
Okay, I wanted to ask her, how was it post mastectomy? Because you talked about some people thinking about the looks and how it
Yeah.
felt. How were you able to cope after it? How was it?
How's your relationship with your
And-
husband?
and
Because a lot of
because
women
you
are
have an
worried about that.
NGO, do you who haven't had a mastectomy that these things are not important? Your health is more important, and how do you help other women cope with it? Maybe we should go on the break.
I'll
and
take,
then we'll come
yeah, when I
back
come on,
to
let me
take-
go on the break. When I come back, we'll take that answer. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. I think we have Marianne on the phone. Marianne, are you there?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
I'm 25 years and I discovered I have the lump like some few years ago.
Okay.
I went for a breast scan through the program on Metro FM. I went for the scan at VI. And then because of the condition of the lump and my age, the lady said that they would assist me with the mammogram. I did the mammo and they gave me the scan results. And I was referred to Luz, but because of the money issue, I've not been able to go for any surgery, although I don't feel anything. So I want to ask Mrs. Anyang if there's any NGO that can assist people like me that are young and can't afford the
Exactly.
surgery. If there's
Very
any-
important question, Marianne. Thanks for that question. Very important.
I think, I think she asked the right question at this time. You see, this is one of the problems we have in our setting, in our country. We are yet to be brothers and sisters keeper. And this is where the role of the government comes in. If government is aware, maybe let me just pretend that they are not aware. And we have this prevalence of breast cancer all over the place, and we've not been able to do anything. And because there's no policy regarding the issue of breast cancer, if you go to a hospital, you don't have the money, you are turned back. And sometimes people are saying that maybe the hospital management or the personnel, that they are wicked. They are not, because there's no policy that says if a woman with breast cancer, treat her and probably we know what to do next. And this is the kind of policy we want in this country, because breast cancer is affecting our women at an alarming rate. We just have to start with creating awareness for our women to understand the behavior of breast cancer. I did mention it progresses with time. And this is the information every woman should know. That if you do nothing, then you're closer to 6 feet. Is it not the...
Okay, let me come to Tina. Yes.
I eventually did my own treatment here in Nigeria, and that's answering that question about, that it's expensive. Incidentally, before I eventually stayed in Nigeria, I'd contacted University of Maryland in America, and they were asking me to bring over $100,000. I didn't even have $1,000 in my account then, talk less of $100,000. I was first because I couldn't get a visa to travel, to stay in Nigeria. And eventually, I discovered that you don't have to pay the hospital. They ask you to buy your drugs, which makes it
in Nigeria.
a lot cheaper. But like Mrs. Mrs. Akredolu said, Nigeria, we are every other country. Cancer is a scourge all over the world, and every other country, I mean, all the other countries are prepared. Nigeria is one of the least prepared country. If I tell you that right now we have just only one radiotherapy machine working in the whole of Nigeria. We had 8, 7 are not functioning as we speak. The only one functioning is the one in Louth, and it breaks down from time to time because you know a machine that has over 170 million people.
I want to go back to on it. I want to go back to what you said concerning we are yet to be our brother's keepers, because a lot of people, wealthy people, actually rather give their money to church, to rather pay their tithes, put the money to welfare. If we have a record of how much people put in church, if that money, for example, I'm not saying we shouldn't do outside, I'm saying that for them, those are going to kill me, but the point is that there's so much money in that system that we can actually use to create research centers, create payments, help people as buffers, because people like Mariana are there that need help. Because the answer she would like to hear is that your NGO or your own NGO will foot her bill. That's the English she wants to hear, really. But none of them is happening because you don't even have proper funding.
Exactly. That's the point. You know, sometimes when our people make certain demands, and I begin to wonder, so some setups like NGOs, they are public, they depend on public donation. So if you have that kind of money, you should be able to help others. That's why I said we are not brothers and sisters keepers. Nigerians hardly give. And even when, excuse me, I'm talking from experience. Maybe
you know they don't give.
Maybe you belong to church where people come and donate or pay their tithes with dollars, but they will hardly on their own. Because you don't really need to know.
Let me take this call from Zarema. Endurance, are you there?
Yes.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
I want to ask your visitors, what would you say is the most common and most dangerous type of cancer? And likewise, I think a way in which they can, I can't say they eradicate cancer altogether, but I think awareness is very, very important.
Thank you very much.
Can I answer that question? Okay. All cancers are dangerous. All cancers. When you talk about cancer, we all have cells in our bodies. The cells are supposed to grow. At a point, they die, then grow, they die. If there's a particular one which is supposed to die, does not die, that's what becomes cancer. That's where we get, cancer. So we all have cancers in our bodies. So anything called cancer is dangerous.
So I was going to, I asked you earlier before we went on the break, that the post-mastectomy stage, how did you cope with it, and how have you helped other women cope with it?
You know, that was what led me to the issue of public donation that we don't regularly get. One of the reasons could be Nigerians' nonchalant attitude to what happens to the neighbor. The next one is that the NGOs in this country, most of them are established, due to their experience with one cancer or the other, one disease or the other, and they set it up as an act of thanksgiving. In my own case, it was set up as an act of thanksgiving. And you would have expected Nigerians on their own to say, okay, let us support this group that had taken it upon themselves to raise awareness, advocacy, and support to the patients. But it's not forthcoming. So what is left to you and I as women is for us to recognize that this burden is on us. Nobody else will carry it for us. And referring to the cancer, which one is more important than the other? I would say any cancer that affects women should be our number one. You know why? Because breast cancer is affecting our women at a very young age. 10 years younger than what you see in the Western countries. And one would have loved our people to say, what is the reason why you have women 20s, 30s experiencing breast
We
cancer.
have to round up. Sorry, but I'd like to know February 4th, what's going to be happening? Is there any activity going on February 4th?
Yeah, my NGO is we're having a fitness walk campaign.
Okay.
And we're also giving free health checks to people on that day. And then some organizations are coming to also give free drugs to people.
What have
So
you, Ma?
yeah, as we want to start from the basics, the young ones, because Nigerians, because of their set of mindset that could be difficult to change. So we are zeroing on the young ones in the secondary school because they will take this message to their parents. If I'm talking that many of them may not even pay attention, but your daughter or son will come back and say, Mommy, do you check your breast every month? And we have had instances where their parents will come back and say, oh, my son or my daughter, she told me, and I started feeling it. So this is it.
All right, fantastic.
The burden is on us for us to project cancer so that everyone will feel.
Unfortunately, we have to round up. Thank you so much, ladies, for being here.
Thank you so much.
That's all we can take on the show today. Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.